Greetings everyone, Looney Farm Guy here with another episode in the series Precision Farming for Beginners. Now this isn't necessarily for beginners actually, because what I'm doing today in this video is I will be testing the RTK stations, specifically the base game one. However, these are the three that we have available right now. We have two base game ones and we have a modded one that's quite a bit cheaper, just this little fella here. And what this is the setup here, what we're actually going to do. So I have this field. I'm here on one of the newer maps, Spruce Mountain. The reason I picked this map is because it has a nice square field of a medium size, I would say, and right close to the store. And so what I have done here and what the setup is going to be is I have prepared this field here, cultivated it, and it has, we will show you, no nitrogen whatsoever, at least very little, if any. Nothing has been harvested on here. Nothing has been seeded yet. I have a soil type, so you can see the soil type. And pH, I have pre-prepped the headlands for lime. So what's going to happen is I'm going to demolish these buildings and we're going to lime this field, and I'm going to keep track of exactly how much lime is used on this field. And before I do that, I'm going to save it at this point right now, or after I demolish those buildings. I'm going to save the game, lime the field, record how much lime was used, and then I'm going to place probably this little fella here. This is the base game RTK station, which is found under buildings and sheds. Now, if we read the description on the RTK stations, all three of them say the same thing. It says, this station provides your vehicles with a better GPS signal. This helps your AI helpers to drive more precise and do their work faster. Now, faster, I don't know. I would have to time it. I'm not going to time it, but when it says helps your drive more precise, to me that means they're going to do less wastage, or they're going to be more efficient at what they do. So this is what we're going to test. We're going to test, is there a difference with and without the RTK station? Now, I'm going to do 4 processes. I'm going to test 4 different processes: liming, one with RTK, one without first, and then one with, and then we'll get the, and then I'll record the numbers, and then we're going to seed. Same thing. I'm going to do a strip of headland on each end, as I've done here with the pH, one strip on each side. There's enough room for turnaround. I'm not going to use a massive seeder. We'll use the same equipment again. The same piece of equipment, same tractor pulling it for each test, and then reset it and do it again with and without. So we're going to do lime, seed, then fertilizer, and then harvesting. I'm not sure harvesting is going to have much of a difference, but we're going to test that one anyways. Now, I'm not going to do weeds and weed because this is precision farming. There's too many different processes with the herbiciding and the different things and the spot spraying and so on, and I'm not doing the cultivating. I had a worker cultivate this, but just to prep the field. So those are the 4 processes, and that is the order in which I'm going to do it. So now we're going to demolish those, and we're going to save the game and set this guy off. When he's done, I will come back in here and let you know how much lime was used on this field without the RTK station, with the worker only. I'm not going to help him. I'm just going to let him go, and when he's done, and see where he ends up. This is base game fertilizer spreader, base game JCB. Not going to use any modded any mod. It's all going to be base game stuff to keep it as much of a baseline as I can. So anyways, enough talking, and we will see you when this fellow is done. All right, so we're back, and so let's go up here. So the worker, I have to refill once, so that's why my tank is somewhat full, but I did the math, and we used, or the worker used, without the RTK station, 17,759 liters on this field, and he missed this little strip here, except for this. So that's what the worker did. I'm going to leave that because that's, well, part of the test of being efficient and etc. for this field. So if we get in, see, we have 10,241 liters left now. So now that I have all the numbers written down, I'm going to quit and reset and place a RTK station and do it all over again with the RTK station and this exact setup I have here, which is slightly different than the one I showed before because I never saved it and I had to reset everything. But anyways, it doesn't involve the test. All right, so we will see you back at the end of the next test with the RTK station. Right on. All right, so we're back, and as you can see, we have placed RTK station. The worker has limed the field, and if you've noticed, he's seemed to be more efficient in the fact that he only missed this tiny little strip here. And as for the total usage, so with no RTK station, the worker used 17,759 liters. With the RTK station, he actually missed less of the field, so they used slightly more, 17,839 for a difference of hold on. Yes, 80 liters more, which is not a bad thing because he covered more of the field, and that strip only used up an extra 80 liters of lime. Well, that's fine by me. So interesting result. I did my best to do it exactly the same, and so the next test is seeding. So we're going to seed without fertilizer. We're going to use a seeder that does not use fertilizer so that it does not accidentally whatever. And we're going to show you the prep staging, pre-staging, and so we're going to cut away, and we're going to continue on with this. So we're going to leave the field limed. No sense going back. We will pre-stage the field with headlands with seeding, and then let the worker go. Again, the same way we did this test. So we'll see in a bit. All right, everybody, we're ready to seed. Now let's just have a quick look at our precision farming. And so no nitrogen still. We are soil type and pH we have completely limed. And seed rates. So as you can see, we have done a strip on each end, and this is where we have saved it. So we're going to seed this field with wheat, calculate how much seed was used, reset it. Well, after we're done, we'll come back in and we'll give you a report on how much seed was used, and reset it and start all over again with the RTK station. So off we go with the tried to line up. So I saved it right at that point, so that next time I come in, it's going to be exactly the same spot with exactly the same amount of seeds in it. I don't expect to run out of seeds. 5,800 liters of seed on this should last the whole field. So we'll just do a calculation of how much it contained and how much it used, and we should be able to have a result. So we'll see you once the field is done. All right, so we're back. So stage 1 of the seed test is done, and he's actually done a fantastic job, even though no RTK station. We have 3,004 liters of seed left, so used almost exactly half a tank, which equals 2,796 liters of seed. So now we're going to reset, place down an RTK station, which I will see you in a moment. Okay, so we have reset, and we are going to go in and place our RTK station, the same one we had before, which is the little guy right here. We will put him right back in the spot we had him before, because there's a little cement pad there. There it is. Now there we go. There it is. Our seeder is chock full, 5,800 liters. And off we go with the RTK station and the worker. And we're going to see how this goes. So we will see you when we're done. And the results are in for the second part of the seed test. Again, we have a different result. So if you recall, without, let's just go to an upside view here. Without the RTK station, actually it seeded the entire field. No problem, and it used 2,796 liters of seed. However, whether it was, I would imagine, more efficient at seeding, as in not overlapping, we have managed, or the worker missed this spot. So as a result, it only used 2,751, which is 45 liters less. So I don't know. I don't think it would use 45 liters to do this strip, actually. So let's do a little experiment here. Since we already know how much it used, let's finish seeding that little strip. And that way the entire field will be seeded. So there we go, 5,800 liters. Don't worry, I've already recorded the numbers. Now, we'll go back in there and we'll seed that strip and see how much we use. Because if you recall, the first time without the RTK station, it took exactly 2,796. So let's see. Oops, I'm missing. Don't want to miss anything. There we go. And I have a prediction that it's not going to use 45 liters of product, but I could be wrong. Have been before, once, I think. Actually, it could very well be 45 liters by the time we get to the end. We'll fast forward through this part. Okay, so the difference is 42. So it took me 42 liters to seed that spot. So yeah, a couple of liters off is within variables. So my thoughts on why that the difference is that the worker was more efficient in not overlapping, and thus ended up with a space at the end that it didn't end up doing. So that is how what I think happened there, because to actually seed the entire field is the same both ways. So the efficiency of the worker is that he just did it more, well, covered the field more efficiently with less overlap. That is my guess on that one. So the next one is going to be fertilizer. And so we're going to test that. I'm not sure if it's going to be liquid or granular. I think it might go granular because it's less accurate. So we'll see in a bit. All right, so here we are, ready to go. We have, I have, where we are? There we are. Nitrogen, I have done headlands on each end of the field. I have saved the game at this point right here. I'm using the Braidall with the 18-meter spread. And I've started on this side this time because just in case, for whatever reason, those trees over there were somewhat interfering with the workers. So as you can see, there's a little bit of overlap there, but they're both being started at the same point, so the results are going to be accurate, at least within within a reasonable variant, as you would say. So anyways, no RTK station on this test, and we'll see how much it uses. And oh yes, I've decided to change the last test to weeds. We're going to do weeds because harvest there's crop on the field, and you either get it off or you don't get it off. So I think the herbicide spraying is probably going to be a little bit more have a better result, shall we say, or better chance at having a result. Yeah, there we go. So we'll see you after this test is finished. All right, so here was where we ended up. He turned around and stopped here. So not really a fair judge of complete, but I've marked down the amount of that he used, and now what I'm going to do is finish off this spot to see what it takes to fertilize the entire field, and then we'll so I'm going to meet you. We're going to get that number, and I'm going to meet you back once after I reset it and go back to the first one and do it again, all over again with the RTK station. So see you in a bit. Oh, hey, we're back. All right, so final total for fertilizer without RTK station. The worker used 3,992, and then when we finished the field, it took 4,696 units or liters to finish off that piece. So we're going to start this guy off with the RTK station and see what happens. So we'll see you whenever he stops, basically. All right. See you in a bit. All right, everybody. So kind of looks like we stopped in the same spot, but as you can see, he's a little bit further over, and so that leads me to believe that he's covered more field in the same amount of passes than without, right? Because he's ended up with pretty close to the same, whoops, pretty close to the same, let's go up. So he's just left a little bit less this time. And so as that goes, the first one left used to do, when he stopped here, 3,992. This guy with the RTK station used 4,017, so a little bit more, which is in line with he's covered more field. And when he turned around to do this, he stopped because, well, he's not on the field anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up doing this to make sure that it ends up pretty close to the same amount of fertilizer. And then we will move on to the weed killing. Yes, weed killing. Remember, we changed it from harvest to weeds. So we'll see how that goes. And we will see you with the results on the next step. I'll tell you the results. Okay, for our last test, we are going to do weeds, and I'm on a different field because the field I was on before didn't develop any weeds, but we have weeds here, and it's a nice little square field, and we'll do it exactly the same with both. We do not have the RTK station. I have done a headland on this end just to avoid these trees or any interference with those trees. And we should be mostly clear. I'm starting on this side so that he's going to miss those. And hopefully there's enough room on this side to not to interfere too much. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. It's a smaller field. Shouldn't take too long. And we're starting off with 2,700 liters of herbicide. And we'll see where it goes. We'll see you in a bit. All right, so here is where the worker ended up stopping, and that's because, as I feared, there's a tree here. However, that's fine because for some reason or another, we can see it here, it's just vaguely here, the worker decided not to do any of this either. And if we look at our PDA, yes, so he missed this square for some reason, and he just missed the fence and came around. There was a tree, so that's fine because we're gonna let it go exactly the same way, except with an RTK station, which we're gonna reset, place down the RTK station. Oh, by the way, he used 978 liters of herbicide. Now, mind you, he was spraying this whole section of herbicide as he was spraying this last little bit here. As you can see, he stopped right where he stopped. That's where he stopped. So that's gone to waste. I'm not using spot spraying. If I had spot spraying, it wouldn't have been spraying anything. So that is the option, but I just wanted to see. This is a test of the RTK station, and this I'm using only base game equipment. So that is a test. All right, so we're going to be spin back, and we'll see you in a bit. Alrighty then, we have tucked our little RTK station in next to this Buy Anything silo that we had. And here we are with the RTK station, and away he goes. Exactly the same spot, exactly the same starting position. And we will see what we will see. And so, again, we're going to cut away. Sorry about all these cutaways, but it would be an extremely long video if you had to wait through all of this, because he's only going at 7 miles per hour, 8 miles per hour. So it would be extremely dull video that way. So we will see you when he's done, and we will wrap up the whole test then. See you in a bit. Well, hello everybody. Looney Farm Guy here, back Yes, you know who I am. Oh, I'm a bit befuddled, kerfuffled, and even puzzled, but well, I shouldn't be, because if there is one conclusion I have come to with this test is the workers are not intelligent. Artificial, yes, but not intelligent whatsoever. Huh. So to recap this this final test with the RTK station, as you can see, we started off here exactly in the same spot, and he did exactly the same thing over here, missing this little square. If we go to the PDA, missing this little square. However, he did something extraordinarily baffling. I'm going to say dumb, I guess. When he turned around here, he stopped here, turned around, went over here, got stuck on a tree, and stopped. So, yeah, got here, stopped, turned around to, oh man. So, it's totally pooched, this test. I was hoping for him to at least do the same silly thing that that he did before. So it could be the map playing tricks or something, but why would he do, like, I did not touch anything. It was, I set him off exactly in the same spot, and now he's done something different. So that's always, well, that's good, or that could be good or bad for a test. If we're testing how smart these guys were, they're dumb on a new level. So the amounts, the usage amounts are meaningless for this test, unfortunately. However, we can do a wrap up still. Now, it's pretty much back and forth. I was looking at product usage to be more efficient, and I didn't really see that. I seen actually more product used on average by the worker with an RTK station, not by much though. The lime used a little bit more. The seeds actually used less. So lime used about 80 liters more, which is minuscule, almost within a variable. Seeds used 45 liters less, and fertilizer used 20 liters more. And as for herbicide, well, who knows? It screwed up so badly, it pooched the test so badly that I can't even give the results would be meaningless. So, in conclusion, it appears that the efficiency, and if we look at the description again, it says, this station provides your vehicles with a better GPS signal. This helps your AI helper to drive more precise and do their work faster. So that tells me they're supposed to go faster. Faster babies and less overlap. Now that could be possible. However, it doesn't translate into less usage being you're on precision farming. And when it comes to seed and fertilizer, for sure, because it won't fertilize on top of spots that you've already fertilized. Neither would it if you didn't. The only one that I could see being a great benefit is herbicide. And he screwed this up so badly that I'm not gonna beat my head against this one. So sadly, kind of inconclusive, really. I know there's a couple of other tests out there with the RTK station. I haven't watched them. I didn't want to influence my test on it. And so I didn't find a whole lot of difference. As I said, maybe the turnaround time, I didn't time it. I was looking for product usage, and product usage was not a factor with it. If anything, it would be the amount of time the worker would spend on a field. So you might save on wages. And in the case of In the case of herbicide, perhaps less usage. But if you really want to use less herbicide, use the spot sprayer, and that knocks down your usage by 90%, something ridiculous like that. Don't quote me on that, but it is. I would still have 93% tank left if I did spot spraying on this same field. Anyways, hopefully that doesn't disappoint you, although it is a result, and it means that there might be a slight improvement in efficiency, but I didn't see. I think the field was big enough to get a decent, or should have got a decent solid result, and I didn't. So if anyone else has done some testing on this and has gotten different results, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to hear if anyone else has tested this and have gotten different results. Perhaps the map has some effect on it. I tried to pick a square field, use base game equipment, very standard, did the same thing, very careful to do the same test the same way each time. So anyways, there you go. That's the precision farming test for the RTK station. I only did test the one RTK station. There's no reason why the different ones would act differently. So, but anyways, there you have it. I'm Looney Farm Guy, and I hope this has been informative, if not at least helpful, or somewhat entertaining, perhaps. And of course, as always, don't forget that it's only a game. So, till next time, bye for now.